but we are recording.
No,
that's a whole separate thing. We're on that too. The man and his stupid car.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it is what it is. What's up, fella?
Here I am.
Yeah, you are. It's so good to have you here. Again on the 50th episode. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Welcome back.
I know. What's up, everybody? Hello. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, April 26th. This is Life with the Ryans. I'm Jay. That's Mrs. We're sitting here with Mr. Derek Whitacre. Hello and welcome back.
Hi there.
Hello. Isn't that how you did it?
Mrs. Doubtfire. The two of you do good
Am I
voices.
on?
What'd you do earlier? Goofy?
That was pretty good.
Goofy Flight School from my Disney friends.
And
Yeah,
then,
totally.
And then, the butthead thing. So.
Oh, the butthead thing was creepy,
It's
though.
really
Can you do that
good.
one?
Oh man, now it's on.
Yeah, there's no pressure.
All right, well, when you think about it, just FYI, Jay's back was to you. and
Pretty
his-
good.
You did that.
How's it going? Whoa. He's pretty good.
You did that, and Jay turned around with the funniest look on his face.
Well, what I couldn't believe was I know I've met and talked with Mike Judge a bunch of times, so and I'm a big fan of his and his brain. And you really sound like Mike Judge, and Butthead is just an incarnation of Mike Judge. So that's the
And we
feat to me.
just watched something with Beavis and Butthead and Dave the other day.
Surprise, yeah, it was old Letterman stuff.
Still
Surprise.
top of mind.
kids in my tool shed.
Goddamn Beamer and Boomhead out there whacking in my trailer.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I was a
other
fan,
than interesting voice techniques, what are we going to talk about?
I want to talk about all sorts of things with you. First of all, you were our second guest, and at the time, your movie was gonna come out, but we weren't even sure. It didn't have a release date. It has come out. You are out pushing it. Can we just talk about that quick to get it out of the way?
I'm pushing it.
Well, we would like people to download it and watch it, right?
I'm a pusher.
I think you said you were
Yeah.
on the Podcast Valley Tour.
Yeah, you are. You're on the Podcast Valley tour, right?
Oh yeah.
You did Adam? No, you're.
I'm doing Adam Carolla's next week.
But you did Matt.
The car cast.
There you go.
And then I did a thing called Road Stories last night, which will be out in a week or two.
What's that one?
This guy named Michael, he's started a new
It's a
car-oriented
new one.
car-oriented podcast, and he's already had Jonathan Ward on, and I forget the guy's name from Motor Trend, and I was like, okay, yeah, cool.
Wow.
You got some big hitters right off the bat.
So this is somebody who's established already, then probably too.
He had a watch-oriented podcast before.
Are you into
And,
watches at all?
No.
That seems to be a really big thing right now.
I know. I think they're very neat, but I don't like wearing them, and it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Says
go
the
with
guy
your...
with 4 earrings. I don't like jewelry on men.
Yeah.
But you're not changing them every day and shit. They just are part of your
No, I
being.
never take them
So
out.
it's not like you have to pick something out to go with your outfit every day, since you don't pick
In
out
the
your
MRI
outfit.
machine, they had to put tape over my ears so
Uh-huh.
that they wouldn't go.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah,
Well, they're
They didn't-
stainless steel, so they're not really magnetic.
Oh,
anymore.
okay.
but you never
But I
know.
can't believe you would. Yeah, I can't believe they even let him be in. I don't know. You
They
see all
can't-
those
they
YouTube
can't get 'em
things.
out.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. I mean, you have to have a special tool to take them out.
Oh, I didn't realize there's a pry thing or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got nothing.
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Straight laced. Nothing. I had an earring once.
One time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had I can't tell this on the podcast. I can't tell it on the podcast.
But you started.
Yeah, I know, but I can't. For your respect, I can't because, well, whatever. But somebody once came to visit, and that's the one ring that I ended up with that weekend. Vegas.
So, that weekend.
Yikes.
All right, I guess we're talking another. I got married drunk in Vegas once. Yep.
Not
to a
to
friend.
me.
Yeah, no, to a friend, not to anybody I was dating even.
Every time we say that story, people look at me like, "Oh, what'd you do?" I'm like,
No,
"I
this was-
wasn't
this
there.
was-
This was
it wasn't-
This
years
was
before
20
me.
years ago, probably almost. It was like 2001 or something.
Just
and
a really beautiful
somebody came
story
out to
of your
visit,
past.
and it's one of those things. We all who we are because of it.
I
was
love it
after
about you.
it was after Ross and Rachel, I think, and before Britney Spears.
Okay.
If you're going with the Vegas drunken wedding,
Chronology of pop
Yeah.
culture
Yeah, right.
experimentation.
That's right. That's where I fit in.
I loved it about you when I met you.
Anyway, so that week was full of good decisions. Just straight up. Had an earring for a little bit. On the Venice Boardwalk, by the way. That's the place
That's
to
where
get
you
an earring.
got it. Ugh.
I know. It's not my proudest moment. I'm again.
I would take mine out, but I'm too lazy.
Really?
It's
It's part of your whole thing.
I can't be bothered.
I feel like you're a whole...
I have to schedule an appointment or something. I got to go to
And there's tools involved. There's
tools
probably
involved.
a release. Holy crap.
Release?
You
That's
strike me as
perverted.
somebody who is kind of put together, and you are who you are, and you are... No.
That's the most comical thing I've ever heard. You seem pretty put together.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. But you seem like someone who has their whole thing put together. You've got whatever. You're not out to impress. Would that be true?
I don't know.
Really?
Maybe. I don't know.
Really?
I mean, I have it. I'm vain.
Then you're really good
I'm vain.
at acting
like everybody's
like
a little
poised.
vain.
Really?
I just have my uniform. I stick to it.
All black.
Yeah. Just stacks of black shirts. I got my stack of long sleeve black shirts and my stack of short sleeve black shirts. Embracing the weather today.
It's warmer.
Got the short sleeves.
Good job.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I got a stack of black sweaters.
really?
Very nice for when I go to Colorado.
And your black socks and black boots.
And a couple pairs of black jeans.
All right. Well, we've
socks.
got that. We've got that down.
Colorful array of underwear, though.
Yeah.
That's where you sauce it up.
So, yeah. That's where it gets spicy.
That's so feisty and spicy secretly downstairs. I had no idea. You drive a white car that flames out the back, and I had no idea about your
Spicy.
panty wardrobe.
Panty.
Wow.
I hate that word. I hate that
Yeah, I
word.
heard
I'm
the whole
sorry.
thing.
I know.
Panties.
I hate that word. I know now you're going to say it. Whatever. My bad.
Y'all got yourself into
Panties
this. I'm just going to let you deal with
That
it.
sounds so sensual. I couldn't wear panties.
Here's the deal. You're the one that was like, I got multicolored under my boxers or underwear or whatever you said.
Yeah.
Like, it all does play together. I didn't just make it up.
All right. Well, now that that's taken care of,
Yeah.
I'm curious about. All right. So we met Matt Farah. All right. Can we talk about Luftgekühlt? Let's open it with
Sure.
Luftgekühlt. Luftgekühlt weekend. Everybody knows. Last weekend, holy cow, holy crowded, but holy cow.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't even see you, and
I
in your
didn't see
car,
you
and
guys
we were both there all day.
There were
where
so
were
many
you?
people
How
that I
was
didn't
it?
see.
Tell us about your experience in any way you want.
It was very exhausting.
Have you done them all?
Yeah.
Cool.
This was really exhausting.
This is the fifth one, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Luftgekühlt series. Or
And I don't
Yep.
mean that in a pejorative way. I just mean by the end of it, I was I was pretty fried just from meeting a lot of people that I haven't either seen in a long time or you only know through web presence,
Right.
theirs or mine, and it was a lot of happy glad handing all day and recognizing faces and not recognizing faces and
Yeah.
so but yeah, the bummer of it was there were so many people there, including you guys, that I didn't even see.
Yeah.
That's
And-
what we said the next day. Like, we were all there and no one saw each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of explained to her, I think even maybe on the show to you, Mrs. Ryan, that we probably saw like a third of the show, like definitely less than half. You know what I mean? Like that just between our accessibility and the sheer vastness of it.
It was pretty spread out.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see I maybe saw like 2/3 of
Of
not
all the
even
displays
just the
and
cars,
stuff.
but just the environment.
Right. That's part of it too, is there were so many different little setups and stuff that by the time we got there or whatever, they were almost buried in people.
Yeah.
To the point where it was almost like, well, we're not gonna risk going all the way over there and we don't even know what it is.
The best part of it was just showing up super early at the 7:00 and getting in, and it's that calm before the storm. You
That's
can actually
nice.
walk around and see some of the really crazy cars on display. A 91710 and that wild 962 CR. Is that what it is? It's basically a 962 road car
Oh wow.
Where was
with
that?
like 1 mile on it. It
Oh my
was
gosh.
at, that big building with all the really historical race cars in it. It was behind that.
Okay. I vaguely know. I just wanted to you did a great job. I wanted a vague understanding where it was.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
So Jack Olson, haven't talked to him in a while.
I'm jealous because I'm a big fan of his. I mean, I don't know if I'm.
He is
I
a
love the stuff he
fantastic
does.
fellow.
And I've never had a I reached out on Facebook to invite him on the show,
Yeah.
and I haven't heard back yet. But I'm a fan. How do you guys know each other?
Just from being around.
Serious?
Yeah.
Just part of the community?
Yeah. He's actually, first time I went to Willow Springs, he drove my car. It was like just a few months after I bought it back in 2006. And that was an eye opener.
That's the guy to do it.
Yeah. It was like, oh, wow.
Does anyone know that track better than him?
And in a Porsche.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
yeah.
He's the guy with
That's
the
really cool.
garage.
So I rode shotgun with him.
With the
The
lift
writer
and the
with
garage.
the-
Exactly, the writer.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah. Bone stock. 1982 911 SC on question.
This was Stupid Car, but when you first got it.
questionable tires. He's passing a Ford GT in turn 8 at like 130 miles an hour, and I'm just going, oh my god.
Oh, you were in it too.
Yeah, I was
So
passenger.
cool. Oh my god.
And
That's
then, and
so
then we went
cool.
in his car, which was wild.
Now that must have been an eye opener. That's a bucket list thing for me to go around the track in his car.
He's pretty speedy.
Yeah,
I think we
we've seen
did
some videos.
in his car. I think we did like a 127.
Wow,
Which
is that
flying.
right?
I think his record's like 126.
Yeah, from the movie, I
125,
agree.
yeah.
So that's
Or it might have been a 128, like low 128.
regardless.
What kind
that
of
is
car is
cooking.
it again?
It's a 72 911.
It's a
but
it's a
That's
homologation.
quick.
It's a because
Well-
it's a newer motor. It's a 993 motor, I think.
964 motor.
Oh no shit.
It's not like crazy horsepower.
Okay.
But the suspension was all done by Tyson.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's who did
I
it.
think Tyson had his hand in most of that car.
I
And the
remember-
build, it's got the motors like set an inch forward.
I think something like that. And he said that I remember from the video that like none of the mounts are original
Yeah,
places.
the
and stuff.
front
Everything's been
suspension has a
moved.
really wide track compared to a stock.
That's so
setup.
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, 911, an older one, but with a little bit of
Is it
everything.
the one in the video we watched?
hmm
It's really
Black with silver.
Drives it to the track, puts all the arrow on once he's there, and drives it around, takes it
Yeah.
all off.
This is
all
where I'm a
goes back.
chick, and I'm like, it's a really pretty, nice looking car in the garage.
It's very
that's
pretty.
Spectacularly clear of everything. That garage, because he set it up so we could like lift it, hydraulics, and there's
Yeah.
a thing, and like everything has a place, and it's I really like. I hope he comes on our show. I'm a fan of your OCD.
He's easy on the eyes too. That helps.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know. I know.
Even I have to agree. Totally. No, totally. So it was nice to see him at Luftgekühlt.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the regular crew. JP. Oh, Banning showed up. Chris Banning showed up. And
Okay.
we're trying to get like the king of the hill, the old king of
No
the
kidding.
yeah,
The
king of Mulholland.
RSR, really, the chop top car.
Patrick and I were trying to get him to bring his car down there, and he's in his own little world.
So
up
he
there.
still has that car, all
Yeah.
of that stuff, that
It's
story.
running.
It's still that story is ongoing. Then I
Yeah.
didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
up there. I've ridden in it a couple times,
Wow.
and yeah, it's just getting him off the mountain's a little tough sometimes. But I guess he kind of felt a little overwhelmed with his projects and such. So he didn't really know what it was. Like, he's not in the loop with anything.
Right.
He's just up there building
Absolutely.
things. He's got a crazy array of things that he's always working on and building.
Is he an
up at his
artist
house.
too, or is he just kind of a?
I think he had a degree in like mechanical engineering or something like that.
Oh
I'm not
wow.
sure.
Okay.
But he's always building stuff, cars and solar arrays and windmills for his house. you know.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So it sounds
Interesting.
like his schooling, if it's engineering is like a good foundation for all of that
Something,
hobby
yeah.
shit. That's really cool.
He's got a Tesla coil that he
What?
built. Yeah.
Like an actual Tesla coil or a Van de Graaff generator or both?
No,
or-
a Tesla coil that he built.
Wow.
And
Gee
he
whiz.
fired it up one day and it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I bet.
It's like, what the hell is that thing?
Well, I mean, all of a sudden it's like Tony Stark stuff back there, right?
No,
Like,
Banning
what
is
else is he doing?
is a insanely interesting person, and but yeah, I guess finally a close friend of his dragged him down there, and I was shocked to see him there. And so I think
So it wasn't even you guys who got him down there. Then
No.
it was somebody else.
no.
Oh wow.
So that
But yeah,
event brings all the
hopefully
good
maybe
ones
next year he'll be.
Bringing the car.
Currently he seemed more inclined
out. Okay.
to bring it out.
Would
The
having
car's
seen
got
that
like
help?
3,000 miles on it.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Which
This
is not a
historical-
lot, correct? For how old it is? Like, it's not.
3,000 miles.
It's a 73.
Here's
It's a
the thing.
1973.
That
No, it's-
sounds
it's- it's
insanely
a-
low to me, but then someone's like, it's got one
Oh, it's
mile
not.
It's
on
everything.
it.
It's a custom built everything.
Oh, okay.
I think he finished it in the late 70s or 78 or something. But I
But
mean,
I always thought it was an actual 73 RSR that was, or RS that was.
it's a race car that this guy, I can't remember his last name, Arnie built, and Chris bought it off of him and then built it into the
the car that we know
the crazy
today.
Mulholland
Right.
race car
With the short hood and the
with the
drop top,
it's a leaned back windshield.
slanted windshield.
So yeah, and full RSR 2.7 motor. Like he went to the Porsche factory and they let him into their archives of materials about setups and everything. He's got these manuals.
Wow.
that are, like from Porsche.
Weird.
These
That's
RSR
awesome.
manuals from the early 70s.
What is going to happen to this car someday? This is going to become like a very interesting thing. You come on, go for it.
What?
I want to see you own that car one day. I just realized I know what I want to happen.
No.
The Mulholland International
I don't even want to think about things
Raceway
like that.
Revival Consortium. Did I get that right?
Something like that, yeah.
Absolutely should be the one, a revivalist.
Revivalist consortium. Yeah. I don't know.
Just
that's
saying
not,
we need
that's
to
not
plant
even
a seed.
any,
Plant
that's not
a
even
seed.
anything I want to think about.
Planting a seed.
So,
I'm thinking about it.
Because you're busy promoting your movie.
He's also
All right.
yeah.
Well, here's
No,
why I was asking.
He's an awesome dude,
Mm-hmm.
and it'd be great to see him get that thing out and show it to people, because it's this piece of not just like Porsche history, but it's a piece of Los Angeles history.
SoCal car culture history for sure.
I mean, the racing on Mulholland is something near and dear to me, as far as like something that I find interesting and a historical bit of LA.
Totally.
So, yeah, it would be really cool if he could get that out a bit more, but he doesn't really get out, or he doesn't get that thing out
Right.
that much. So,
All right, so I was asking you about Luftgekühlt and the people you ran into, and I'm leading the witness here a little bit to get to Matt Farah,
okay.
because we met Matt Farah for the first time at Luftgekühlt, thanks to VW for Life, and I actually don't know him that well. Like we were just talking before the show, I've only ever actually seen 1.5 of his podcasts, and it was yours. And one with Spike and Zuckerman, because Zuckerman's funny as hell to me.
Yeah, I think at Luft he was with Spike. I
I'm
don't know if
sure.
Zuckerman. I think they were looking for Zuckerman.
I'm sure.
Well, they were
that's
talking about Zuckerman when we were there too,
that's a
about
movie,
the hat
right?
and everything too.
Looking for Zuckerman.
Pretty good.
It
Waiting
should
for
be.
Government. I like that. But what I'm getting at here is yours was one of the episodes I saw most recently, and
It was 5 days after my thing.
well, that's what I'm getting at, and that's sort of the impetus for this shirt as well, the WTF.
Oh.
The backstory, all right, from my perspective, you're my friend, you're my neighbor, you're my car buddy, all this stuff. We had a different friend in town to do the podcast, Danbury Chive, Steve Kaz. He and I were at the grocery store, ran into you. Hey, it's my buddy. I just saw a car outside with your sticker on it. I think I'm all cute and funny with my own little story. Like, wow, that's really crazy timing. You're gray. You look like you have no interest in talking to me. And I'm like, whoa, is he here with like a secret girlfriend or something? Like, what the hell is going on? And you tell us at that point that, no, you just went through like a crazy thing and you're actually scared and really happy to be alive. And you're going on Matt Farah's podcast tomorrow and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my backstory. You didn't tell me at that point what the issue was or what was going on with you, other than you were okay now. I didn't, as your
like,
friend,
what?
I didn't need to worry, but there was something that you would tell me
It
at
was
some point.
3/14. It was Pi Day.
Okay. So
Because we all love pie.
So that's as much as I know. And then, you ended up a couple days later, ended up coming over and telling us the whole story and
Yeah.
everything. But what I noticed from watching the Matt Farah podcast was there's a significant shift from your energy in the beginning to the end. And what I'm wondering is, did you tell anybody what was going on with you? Did Matt Farah know?
No.
Okay.
I didn't bring it up. And I was actually feeling pretty good. I had a blood clot in my brain, if anybody's wondering what the hell we're talking about. And yeah, so that was
Scary as
very,
hell.
very not fun.
I mean, but really scary as hell, emergency room, hospital to the whole thing.
yeah.
The whole thing.
And
How many days were you in the hospital?
I was there for 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
And they ran every test on me.
Yeah.
I saw every specialist in the hospital, and they all went, well, we don't know, take aspirin.
But it was probably this.
We think it might have been this, but we're pretty sure you had a blood clot in your brain, and so now you take aspirin. And I'm like, that's all you got.
I think they're winding down. Whatever. I'll talk too much later. But apparently, all of us have blood clots in our brains all the time, and so we're all walking aneurysms waiting to happen.
Is that right?
Yeah. So it's actually perfectly normal to get blood clots in your brain. You get them all through your body. They just kill people who aren't hydrated and don't take care of themselves and aren't looking, don't know the signs of when to just sit down. It's so simple, but it's so simple that we overlook it.
It's
all
so
the time.
funny though. I'm healthier now than I.
Yeah, because you pay attention to shit.
Well, no, I mean, but leading up to that, I've been healthier.
Maybe you were breaking up a lot of
One
plaque.
of my doctors, I went to a doctor one time.
There's a lot of
You know what I
there's a
mean?
lot of years of excessive
we all-
living.
You betcha.
It's like quitting drinking stone cold because your body's where's that chemical I'm used to having? So
Cold chicken.
Yeah.
cold turkey, I think.
Cold
is what
turkey.
they-
Cold chicken.
Way to go.
I love it. Would you?
So anyway, it could all be
Kids,
correlated.
stay away from the cold chicken. Cold chicken's not good.
Pardon me, Mrs. Ryan. It's cold chicken, if you'd like to know.
Listen, it's fine.
Cold chicken? What are you retarded?
I'm used to it.
Oh, that was good. No, you were right. We're making fun of
know.
me now.
I know.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
So you're alive. You're good.
Yeah,
Did you tell him afterwards? I'm curious because
Nah.
that episode felt like it got. Was it intended to be short? Was it intended to be a half episode, or was it just cut short?
I think he said that he had just done a 2.5 hours of podcast before I showed
okay.
up.
So it probably all worked out then. Okay.
Yeah, it was fine.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know their schedule well enough, but I was thinking more on the lines of, as somebody who does this now, you kind of put yourself in other people's shoes unintentionally.
And I
was
think
thinking to myself, if
at
you
the
were
time,
sitting
that
here,
was about as long as I wanted to go as well.
well, that's kind of my
So-
point. But
I
the
imagine.
shift, though, do you notice watching back? Do you see an energetic shift or anything? You were kind of spacey in the beginning.
It's a comfort level as well.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I'm not.
So you're just more comfortable here.
You guys are super chill.
Oh my God.
There's a difference when you're not hawking something specifically versus just being yourself somewhere. You have a different energy to you organically.
That's interesting.
I never feel like I'm hawking anything, though.
Totally.
People,
You never
but
come
I
across
actually
that.
did ask him, if I could hawk my movies. So.
Except you did. So your headspace was already in a difference. I'm just
Yeah.
pointing shit out. It's kind of my lot in life and not always comfortable for anyone.
I feel like it's out there. Might as well talk about it. So
Well, if I learned anything from my old life, doing press, which is a podcast, to talk about a movie specifically, and then leaving it in the vacuum that it lives in, you're only talking to those people versus telling other people that you went on a show and did it.
yeah.
And that's what lets other people see the pieces in. I wouldn't have known you if it weren't for him, and I certainly wouldn't have necessarily tuned into a podcast. But I think your movie, which we should restate the title of, and I'm horrible at remembering anything.
Should I? We Live Machinery.
We Live
Okay, there you
Machinery. Because I always want to say live, and that's not right. But We Live Machinery.
Whatever.
It's just different. Because now with us, I feel like it's just part of your life, and it's stories that happen to be collected
it's such
in
an
a film.
old part of my life. To me, it's
Right.
so.
So
Because this was 3 years ago.
when you sit with us, you're
Yeah.
just telling stories. But when you're out selling a movie, you're like, okay, what do they want to hear about? And how do I say it that way? It's just a different energy that always comes across with everyone.
Actually, I'm just thinking about it. This guy Jaime that Radu and I met at Luftgekühlt that we had drinks with the other night. It's from Spain. He came over just
For Luft?
yeah.
Cool.
And
Wow, man, did he meet the right guys? I'm
well,
sure you
I
took him
mean,
out for a good
he
time.
flagged us down.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, he's saw the movie and all that. I was like,
cool.
okay, right.
Right.
This
Because
is
the
all
reach
this is
now-
all very new to me. I
and the
don't-
reach that Chassis Media has all of a sudden.
I
Whoa,
guess.
whoa. Well, because this was on YouTube for a while first, right? A while back.
Yeah, but it's quite a bit different. Than
Oh,
it
I
was.
understand. I just mean like the.
I mean, I redid a lot of it. So.
But as far as it was out there for people to see, but
Yeah.
people weren't walking up to you at Luftgekühlt going, "Hey, man, I came from Spain to
Yeah.
flag you guys down."
Well, I don't know if he came.
I think that's what he said. He
didn't
said,
come
"I
to
actually
flag
came to
me
meet
down."
Derek Whitacre
Yeah.
and that guy with the car that shows up to Breakfast Club that always gets cool video."
with the orange bumpers.
Radu is such a cool guy, man. He's very funny.
Like that guy.
Yeah. I don't know where we were. Where were we? Like,
Luftgekühlt. And this guy came in from Germany.
It's amazing the reach.
Spain.
Oh, Spain. I'm sorry.
It's
Thanks.
amazing the reach. Like you meet these guys from Australia. They came over just for that. I'm like, you flew from Australia just for this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's amazing. Like, because this is just our backyard.
Yeah, we were having that
That's-
conversation
yeah.
too. Do you ever feel that there's almost a responsibility to make other people have a good time because you took that guy out to drinks, and I'm asking because
Well,
there've been a couple
I didn't
things.
take him out. He
Well,
he
what
paid
I'm
for
saying,
our drinks.
of course, but what I'm saying, sure, okay.
You spent the time and brought him to a location and sat with him.
Yeah.
There was somebody who missed out on Luftgekühlt, and they traveled. They came into town, and they ended up missing out on a bunch of things, and they simply posted about it. I don't even know this person, but I was like, I took it personally. Like I felt, dude, you got to reach out next time. And I talked about it on the show. I was like, just put it out there because somebody will take you up to Angeles Crest or invite you over to their garage or like you can do Porsche stuff. They came into town. They missed Festival of Speed because their museum tour went too long, and they bought bogus internet Luft tickets because they, you know what I mean, like because they sold out. So
Really?
then
There's bogus internet
or
lift
something
tickets?
like that. They put a post saying, "Hey, can I?" And they got scammed some money or something
Oh,
like that. So
wow.
whatever. They ended up not getting to go to any of their stuff. So they took like a culinary tour in their Porsche of like all the cool restaurants and stuff. And anyway, my point is, we get to experience this stuff all the time, every day, literally. And every week we get to go to Angeles Crest for Breakfast Club and all that stuff. Do you feel a little bit of, and I don't want to, I'm not trying to make you feel this way, but I do. Do you feel that like there's a little bit of ownership of living here and like wanting to, when there's a fellow enthusiast that's like at that same level, not just a guy who's like, I like Porsche too.
Ownership.
I mean, even though that's something as well, I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say, but
I don't know.
the fact that you all right, then
I'm just-
then
I'm just
take
here.
it all
I'm
off the
just here,
table,
man.
But you did acknowledge though that at least like there are people that come from everywhere for this, and we just live it all the time. It's like our life.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, I guess there's nothing to go to there. Huh? Is that what
I
you're
don't know.
saying?
I don't know what to. I don't know what to say about that.
Fair enough.
It's I don't. I'm
Not your
I'm not a curator of anything. I don't take ownership of anything.
fair enough,
I'm just doing my thing, man.
and not slinging shit.
Well, except for We Live Machinery, available now on chassis.com.
How did you get-
CHASSY.
Can we talk about that?
Misspelled and everything.
How did you get affiliated with those guys, with Chassis Media?
Yeah, they found me.
Well, that's nice.
They saw one of the people over there. They I don't know how, but they found it on YouTube and they asked if I wanted to do a distribution thing. So
super cool.
and then that's when all the legal battles and or not battles, but the finagling, getting all the things that I didn't do when you do a real movie.
Clearances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And okaying locations and or not getting okays for locations and lawyers going, yeah, it's Mexico, don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was like there. Plus, it is.
But there was
Mexico.
some stuff in the States where I couldn't keep in or be known where it was or things like that.
Whoa. So wait. So then, is the movie that we saw even different than what's released now, or is what we
Which
saw?
one did you?
Ooh, I don't know.
Whichever one you sent us.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
that
sent
one.
us
No,
something.
that's the one.
that's what's released. That's what other people are
Yeah.
seeing.
And
Okay.
there was some a couple minor changes after that, but that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did
What's
you
that?
enjoy
All right, well,
the
enough of that shit.
experience? Just
Like,
relax.
yeah, enough of that. Let's just talk about
Sorry,
ourselves and stuff.
I
now.
just did that. I just did another podcast last night. I'm kind of burned out on talking about the movie. That I'd be
Then let's
horrible at these like press tours that people do. I'd be horrible at
awful.
saying
They're
the same
like
thing over and
weeks.
over and over.
that. Yeah.
Weeks of repetitive.
That was her old life,
Yeah.
and nothing but tons
Oh
and
my
tons
God.
of that shit. Every different variety. Every
No
different
wonder
size
I'm
and scale.
retarded.
Is that why? Is that how it happened?
I'm gonna. You yeah. Yeah.
Oh no!
What?
Yell hush hush.
I don't know. It seemed like it.
How tough was that? How hard was it?
It was so hard.
Every day was different. It was. It's fine. I don't have anything to say. Whatever. It's just repetitive, and yes, that's part of why I'm retarded. I'm obviously retarded organically for other reasons, but I'm gonna chalk this part of it up to that.
You okay?
Mm-hmm.
What's the matter? I mean, you're saying you're okay, but you're not. So what's the matter? And we don't have to talk about it now, but something happened. Something came up there, and I don't know what it is.
No, I adore you. You're one of the people that says shitty things to me all the time, and so I have just learned to like shut my mouth and not be a dick about it. But like sometimes I'm like, "Whoa, you just said that in front of other people," and I'm like, "Wow."
What happened here?
Oh, I wasn't implying that you were retarded.
No, you just said it blatantly.
Oh no!
And then
I'm
it's
sorry.
fine. I'm just overly sensitive because
I don't know
I'm
that that's
so
all how that
busted.
happened either. I mean, not that I want to go check playback or anything, but I understand that that's how it hit you.
Here's
and
the
everything.
deal. This is not the first time this has happened. It happens with you all the time in front of other people.
No,
It
I
happened
was
with
just
you at
playing. I
Breakfast
was
Club,
just playing along
and
with
it's
you.
fine.
I wasn't.
I just don't. It doesn't need to be the focus of everything. And people.
I was just playing along with you. I'm sorry.
know.
I didn't
appreciate
mean
it.
it. And
It's fine. I'm just super sensitive to my retardation, and that specifically.
See, that's just it. I don't think you are at all.
Thanks.
So
And you're not actually.
that's why.
so,
That's why it was a joke.
I mean, it's like, yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's clearly something here, and if you want to talk about it,
I'm
I'd love
constantly sensitive about when people give me shit for not thinking the way I want to.
But nobody gave you shit. We were talking about how publicity can fry your brain and doing that same thing over and over again.
It's there because it's such a long, boring answer. There's so many parts to it, and that was not my whole job. It was a big part of my job.
Right, but okay. I feel like you've done this conversion, though. I don't feel like anything was meant by anything, and I
It was
mean,
a
I understand.
I don't
It
think
was a-
anything.
it was a misunderstanding.
Totally. So, like,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
already moved on, and we're just still talking about it.
Okay. What should we talk about now?
cut.
Something better.
Can we please cut that part out?
Why? That's not real. This is me. This is what Jay deals with all the time. Is my reactivity.
That's true.
Here we go.
That's why I invited you over.
He thinks I don't know that
I'm sorry.
it's to take the pressure off
kidding.
of spending time with me. That's what I'm saying. Like everything that everyone
What's
says.
going on today? What has happened? What is going on? There's something else bothering you.
I don't know what's happening.
Because none of this has to do with Derek.
No, I microdose. I did not smoke. I did not vape a lot, and I have to pee. So that might be it. But I'm just reactive to things that people say. Sorry.
All right.
We can talk about drugs.
Which ones? Oh, you
I
did
don't
mention that was going to be part of the conversation.
I don't know. It's just you brought it up before.
I did?
No, or we
just
had
said you
we had talked
microdosed.
about talking about it, but
Sure.
I don't really do drugs. So
That's what I was going to say. And I mean, with the exception of the medicinal cannabis, I don't
Yeah.
touch anything, even aspirin. So,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's a weird, I don't have a whole lot of experience. I've never done acid. Have you ever done acid?
No.
No?
No.
I
Have-
want to.
No. I did ayahuasca once.
Is that how you got
That was
retarded?
quite enough.
Just kidding.
Because I didn't do it?
Just kidding.
No,
We're going to get
that's
so
not.
much, you know, you guys can't say retarded, let alone 10 times in an episode.
Okay, well, we both like Tom Segura, who's a comedian, and he has now turned it to the R word. And he got into a lot of flack about a special that he did where he said it and people misunderstood it. And so I will just back him up and be like, you're right. It's not supposed to be said. I shouldn't have said it. But sometimes there's just no other way to say certain things you mean. Yeah, FYI.
And we're back.
I can't imagine why I'm in not a great mood today.
No, I'm saying like, and we're back. Like now you're back, and we're talking about comedy and good things that you like and that everybody has in common, and it's awesome. We're back.
We're back. I do like that Tom bit, but that's not what we were talking about.
That is what we were talking about. Tom Segura is how we've changed this. We're talking now about Tom Segura. You've seen him live.
Broken? Yeah. A couple times. Are we all broken? We're broken. I feel like I just want to like.
Oh,
we're
you
all
can't
broken,
fix it,
man. We're all broken.
Oh yeah, we are.
We're all broken. That's part of the fun of it, I think.
I have crazy anxiety attacks like out of the blue.
Really?
Debilitating.
Like always?
No, ever
That's
since
new.
My brain thing.
Oh, so
Yeah.
What happens?
Like you get a little dizzy and then it just sets off this physical thing.
That's what I was going to say. Where do you feel it?
Like in your chest and your whole body, and it's just this panic response.
Yeah. Does it have the boil over effect where it kind of, and then it just, you feel the rush over you and then it's the overwhelm and all that stuff? I'm asking because I used to deal with that too.
It's more like you get this sense of like, oh my God, is it happening again?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just your whole body.
You're preparing to shut down.
Yeah. And like the day after Lyft, I like halfway through the day, I just went full on attack. I couldn't work and I just had to sit and watch movies all day.
Whoa.
yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah.
Were you at home at least?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
But and it hadn't happened for a few weeks. But good times.
That's probably exhaustion a little bit playing in there too. Do you think?
Exactly. It was from the
'Cause
previous
the fatigue definitely plays a part.
Really long day.
Long day. You watch Joe Rogan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know you do, Mrs. I don't know. Did either of you guys see the one from yesterday? And it's straight crazy. I'm not
That
normally
Matthew guy.
I'm not normally this caught up,
The
but I
sleep-
happened to watch the one
The
last
sleep
night.
thing. I watched
I
like
just started
2/3
watching it this morning. He's fascinating, that guy, and he validated my whole new professional existence of everything I'm working on. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh, we wrapped that up then. Great. We don't need to talk about
I
it.
thought about
no,
a lot of.
God damn it. This is just where men and women talk differently. Like I said my thing, and like you would respond, but you're like, "That's it."
No, I asked if you'd seen it.
Sucks.
It's awesome. I'm glad.
Why did you want to know?
I wanted to get into an open discussion about this for everybody. I feel that
Still
sleep
open.
is a huge. I know she likes to put little buttons on things. I don't know.
It's not a button to me. It's
Listen, it
just a
seems like you
statement.
might be upset with me for some reason, and if we can talk about that, I'd like to, because that's what it seems like to me now. That's what it feels like. And the camera's on me, not you. So say whatever you like.
I don't have anything. I don't like not feeling liked, but that's just part of life sometimes, and I have to get over that. But
But that's
sometimes-
terrible. Why you think I don't like you?
I don't think I'm always. I know that I'm not everyone's favorite person all the time, and some days I'm just not yours, and that's fine. It just sucks to be around when that's how someone feels around anyone.
I'm really sorry you feel that way. I don't know what I've done to make you feel that way, but I don't feel that way.
Thanks.
No, I'm being sincere. I don't know. I mean, this is a big mystery to me because everything was fine from my perspective. Everything was fine. You guys were having a little thing, and then like it got serious, and then it was like, oh, why did it get serious? And let's try to make it, get to why it got serious, and then make it unserious, and that didn't really work. And now I'm finding out that there is something else behind it, and it's kind of like I want to get that out of the way. Then whatever it is, whatever needs to be overcome here to get things back to like you're happy and feel good about the way your husband feels about you. That's what I would like to achieve.
It's like telling. I don't know how to answer that, but the crux of it all comes down to when people don't feel respected in conversations that they're having with anyone. They're they take a hit. And sometimes when you and I talk, because you think I'm like putting a button on something and ending a conversation, and then that uproots a conversation or ends it makes me feel like shit, because it's not ever what I mean to do. And so it just sucks all the air out of the room when I do something like that without intending to, and it's taken some way. And it just bums me out because it's awkward, it's uncomfortable when it's in front of other people. And now that we're doing it on a show, it's always in front of someone else. So I always feel like a dick. And then you make that face, and I'm like,
I don't know. I'm not. I guess I smirked a little bit, but it's not an intentional smirk. It's like I don't really know what to do with all this. I wish we had discussed it before we got on the air today. I mean, I'm fine with
this
this
because
this is how it is.
Over,
but
and then it's done, and then we talk about anything.
So it's over now. We can go back to the sleep guy?
Mm-hmm.
Great. I love you. I don't know what's going on, but I hope that we can get to the bottom of it and make you feel better. I'm sorry that you are feeling something terrible for me. I don't know what I'm putting out there.
I don't know. Like, when you say stuff like that, what am I supposed to say? I feel like I
guess I would hope that you would tell me what it is. So that
but I don't know what it is.
Well, then that's not very fair of you to treat me this way, is my opinion.
I don't feel like I'm treating you anyway.
Okay. Then I could be being sensitive back. It's possible. Can we? Okay. Derek, I'm so sorry. And not sorry. Because of like, I'm sorry that this is supposed to be about you.
I can't wait for the Porsche Classic guys to see this.
Nah, it is what it is. Listen, that's what we said we were doing.
They saw it in real life.
That's what we, I don't, what is going on?
Oh, me,
what happened?
me. They just saw me, like.
But what are you saying? What is going on? You have some impression of this feels very self-sabotage to me is what it feels like. Is there any of that going on? Like, really wow, things are better than they've ever been. They're getting better and better. And you're just like, nah, I'll fix that.
If so, I'm sorry. That sucks.
No, I'm asking.
Not intentionally. But if that's what I don't mean to be doing that. That sucks. And I don't like how I sound. And I see your face and I see your face.
Well, I'm smiling now because I feel like I've cracked it. I feel like I know what it is now.
You think I'm just looking at you. I'm looking at both of you. So it's not. I'm watching the dynamic here. I'm just going, okay.
How uncomfortable is it? Are you near a panic attack?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
I don't want to be the cause for that or the one who has to dial 911.
I have thoughts.
What are your thoughts?
I think you are especially sensitive, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just you're especially sensitive, and you are in a very different way. And you want to get to the root of things where you want to just go, okay, that's it. Can we move on? And
I'm like, how do we prevent this from happening again?
No, you have a tendency to not let things go.
Well, until I feel that I think that you're right, but it's not out of and I need to make this clear because I feel that she feels that this is out of I need to win, and that there is not an I need to win bone in my body anymore.
But I think
what it generally is I want to get to what I think it is then is, and this is where my motivation's coming, and I'm willing to work on this obviously, because it is. I understand it's two people. I don't even know. I don't even fucking lost the whole thing now. It's important to me to make progress. Otherwise, because I don't like these moments. They're uncomfortable. I don't see the reason for them. I like to learn from them and then, try to have them not happen again.
Sure. That's
my goal. And obviously, life is imperfect. Life is chaotic. Life happens. Nobody's trying to make it perfect. I'm just trying to navigate smoothly.
When emotions are a little escalated, it's not the best time to analyze those things. Just, take a step back and then at a calmer moment.
You might be right, bro.
Thing that happened, let's talk about that. Not right in the middle of it, though, because I've never found that analyzing each other in the heat of battle.
But that's the thing.
Not a good time to do it.
That's not fair. Then that's where it's crazy, because this is never a battle from my side. I'm only ever trying to...
I don't mean you guys are arguing. I mean,
even motivations, man. This is my point, and I'm not being clear with my intentions then. When she's upset, I don't want to make her upset or to turn the screw until she magically becomes upset or unupset. I want to find out what's going on, and because sometimes I know I did something. Sometimes I know you did something. Sometimes I know fucking nothing happened. Okay? This is my opinion. This is, you know what I mean? This is where I'm coming from. So I feel that like maybe there's something there I didn't see, because something happened, but I didn't see anything happen there. So I'm like, something there I didn't see. What is it? What is it so that I can learn from this too? Because we say every episode that all of this is a learning process. You know what I mean? We're not on television. This is like, we're figuring it out.
I feel like I inadvertently set this off.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you did, but you didn't actually
playing along.
We're going to watch this back, and
I'm
pretty sure she said retarded first, and you then copied. Oh, that's how you got retarded? I'm pretty sure that's how that went.
No, yeah, but it was a misunderstanding.
Total misunderstanding.
I wasn't saying that you had an extra
If I'm really honest,
chromosome or
it stems from something that you said previously another time, and which is how I know you now think. I now know that it's how you think of me, and I know that how men talk. I hear things. I just don't like that it's in the lexicon of anything, that it's publicly been stated in front of other people that you don't take responsibility for anything. And I'm like, whoa, I am sick, and I have a really soft brain sometimes, and other times it's really sharp and cutting, and I will go after you. So my body, when I know what to say that's so sharp and fuck you to whoever says something dumb to me, my body shuts down now. So my constant reality is like that audio thing of like balancing, like how hot is it? What am I wearing? Is there air on? What am I eating or drinking or whatever? So it just bums me out that in like a moment was captured where I was trying to just, like you said, like sometimes I just want to end conversations like there's not that much more to say. And a statement was made that like, what, you don't take responsibility for anything? Because I don't fucking drive, and I can't plan our schedule because I don't drive. Like this is, and my issue with you is that you're oblivious to what people say to me all the time. And that's fine. You don't need to know everything. But when you get in the middle of analyzing things, you use the facts that you have in your repertoire, and you don't necessarily know everything that goes everywhere else. So it's not a fact, it's your perspective on things.
I agree with you, and that's when I said my first cause of action at that point is to ask questions. And what you don't do very well is answer questions. So if you don't give me the information that I don't have, that's not my fault, because I'm asking for it.
Sometimes I feel like you ask questions that to me seem like the answer is so obvious.
That's
I'm like,
not
why
fair
are
for
you
you to
asking?
judge.
Totally, and I'm admitting that I'm not perfect at this.
Okay.
But sometimes I'm like, you should fucking know that. Like, where have you been? Like, you don't know that. That's a fact. That's like the earth is round. Like, what? So when those moments happen, I get heated, obviously, because I'm like, you know what I'm talking about. And then when you act like you don't know, or you don't know what I'm talking about, I get really flustered and frustrated. Like, it just happens. It's just like, it's irritating, but it's an irritating personality trait that has been positioned to other people that it makes me feel and seem irresponsible that, like, I don't plan out schedules and can't go to shit. And so I now know that you think that about me. You said it in front to other people about me in front of me. And
why don't you have a conversation with Derek instead of saying what you know he feels and stuff? This isn't fair.
Because this is one of those moments where I'm like, you were there, you said it. You know what I'm talking at Breakfast Club. And you said it to that guy. And it's like, we were talking about racing and festival, whatever. I knew that we couldn't go to something. And like, he kept asking me to go. And you were like, you slammed your hands. It was the day I forgot if you ate your eggs. And you slammed your hands down and you're like, do you not take responsibility for anything? And I was like, whoa, I am fucked. Because it's like 8 a.m. on a Friday.
See, this is my messed up sense of humor when people don't understand when I'm making a joke. And I apologize for that. I was probably... I know that I wasn't serious. It was just like ribbing. It was like, that's all it was.
Okay. Then I'm just overly sensitive and I ruin every...
You didn't ruin anything. No, man. This is good. We're straightening things out.
I happen to
I
agree.
never meant anything like that. I sincerely apologize. I'm sorry
Thank you.
that what I said came off that way.
I appreciate that. I'll leave it there. Thank you.
You good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I feel like this was super rad. I just know that we don't have those kinds of like, I'm sorry, done, never brought up again. Like, I know that we'll be fine. It just frustrates me that it's not always
I'm
like
bummed
that.
that you were pissed off about that, and I didn't know it. If I'd known, I would have apologized on the spot. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
I did not mean it that way, and it probably was my poor execution of my twisted sense of humor.
Everyone makes and I do it all the time. So I'm not still mad. It's frustrating. When people don't realize how what they say impacts other people in front of other people. I just think we all need to be more aware.
This is not the first time this has happened. Based upon something I've said. You said that. I was like, I was joking. It didn't sound like it. Ugh, I'm sorry.
People joke different. It's okay.
This is between you all. I'm just watching at this point.
Well, that's what I've been doing for the past 5 minutes.
Who's going to Breakfast Club
Feel
tomorrow?
the healing.
Anybody?
You feel the healing?
I feel healing, but now I know that like that's not good.
What?
What is it? Healing's bad?
No, healing's fine. Healing's great. I'm gonna stop talking.
I don't know. It's hard to wrangle from this side.
You don't have to wrangle, man.
Good.
That's what I'm saying to you. You don't have to wrangle it.
I'm not gonna.
I think you try a lot.
Well, here's the thing. You're right. You're right. I mean, flat out, you're right. But there's a reason for it too, because there's like, this is a weird hybrid of like, oh, I'm married and it's a TV show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is work, but it's my married life too. And apparently, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to get at here. The show, no. Listen, I have my thoughts. The show is to me, the purpose of the show is getting to the bottom of this stuff and showing people that it's possible, and it's actually quite easy by not losing your cool and everything. I feel like sometimes I'm the only one who plays by that rule, and sometimes emotions get involved, and then things become like, oh, like just any other fight, and people don't need to see how to do that because everybody knows how to do that. That's my opinion.
I think what people need to see is that people say things differently, or they think they're joking and they don't have the emotion doesn't always translate. And so that to me is what I want to convey.
Just because you took something some way does not mean what he did was wrong, just so you know.
I didn't say that.
I know that. I'm asking, do you know that? You're saying, yes, I know that. Okay. Before you go further, I'm sorry, bro, but this is our life. And it's like, whether we air this or not, I don't understand what you're trying to accomplish here. I know what I'm trying to accomplish here, and I can't figure out what the heck you're trying to accomplish here. So if you could tell me, then I would know, and then I'd be like, oh, cool, I understand.
But maybe there isn't
then
a point.
Then it shouldn't be here. That's my opinion. Then that's something you should be adult enough to be able to contain until, like you said, we get off the air and be like, oh, that was a thing, and why didn't
Here's the deal. I was totally contained about the original comment that was like a week ago until something else got brought up that triggered it, that I was like, enough with the pattern of how people speak to me in front of other people.
You're defending your reason for being upset now, and no one is challenging that. We've understood that there was a misunderstanding. Everyone's on the same page there. I'm talking about how you deal with it and your methods. That's what I take issue with. The way you do things. Not that you do things. You are justified in all of your feelings. Everyone is. Whether they're misunderstandings or valid or justified or whatever. Everyone is.
I don't disagree with you, but to your thing of like in the moment sometimes, like not everything it doesn't, you and I don't often spend a ton of time together, and I probably should have addressed it that day, but I was busy forgetting that you were eating your eggs. So I got off track clearly, but like I have the same goal as you to show that like everything's fine. And to me, like,
well, that's my goal, to show that everything's fine.
this is where when you hear and speak so literally sometimes, you're so zoomed in.
I'm backing off from the mic. I'll listen to anything you have to say.
Well, now I'm stuck with, I don't want, misunderstandings happen. They happen a lot with me specifically and with people in general, I feel like. But I feel like most people don't say anything. So then they're just walking around with resentments or whatever. And so
what's the lesson here?
What
did you learn from this so that we can all be better? You know what I mean? Like, I know what I learned. What did you learn?
What I learned is that people don't necessarily mean what they say, how they say it.
Okay, what I learned is that if something upsets you and somebody does something, you should probably just tell them, because it may be nothing. Like, hey, did you mean that? Because I got a little butt hurt. Oh, God, no, of course not. I fucking love you. Oh, okay, cool. And then you're not upset about it for a week, and it's not something you're thinking about so that something else can trigger. And then you're feeling good about things, and not that somebody has some weird feelings about you that they don't actually have.
If I could snap my fingers and feel that way, I would, because you're right. It's so logical. I'm just like, sometimes it feels like you're just, not you, but like anyone is supposed to like hear something and like turn a switch on and be like, that's fixed. I'm good. And I'm like, no, I've got to like, I don't work like that.
Yeah.
I
That's tough for me. I do, because for me it's awareness. Once you understand something or you're aware of something, then it's like, oh, everything changes. Whether it's a switch or whether it's a month-long or year-long or decade-long process, I feel like once you have the awareness of something and you want to change it, the process has begun.
How long have you guys been married?
5 years almost. 5 years and like a month.
You're right. I also don't know.
4 years, 11 months.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry, a little less. 10 and a half? What's the right answer?
It's not.
What's the right answer?
It's not that important. Vague assessments are good enough for me. 5. Let's just call it 5.
Almost 5 years.
All right.
Been together over
I'm
almost
just curious. I'm just curious.
Why?
Why?
I can tell you when we met. I can tell you all that stuff.
Because if you guys have been together for like a year, I'd be going, but it's 5. Okay. You guys have been through a lot of stuff already. So
we've been through 5 years that feel like 87 sometimes. Just because of so much stuff that's happened. Not like...
Oh.
But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know anything. So I always am curious. And
well, what do you mean by that?
Well, there's... He lived this really neat, like, childhood life that, like, seems on paper that it should be understandable, but there's always, like, another story that's, like, shifts it into this direction. So I always...
No, wait, just his past? Like, is it the mystery of it? Is that what you're alluding to?
I guess, but like I feel like when he was a kid, he did things that were like 10 years ahead of his time. So like we have totally different understandings of decades. Like, because he was an adult, like he acted like an adult when I was still like, I'm gonna make boondoggle bracelets. Like, so it's fascinating to me because it's so much of what I studied, like have spent my life doing, of like cultural. I got into pop culture, but like laying it all out is interesting to me.
It does. I don't know that really. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. There's like rates of growth of people, and they can either grow or they can not grow. Apparently, you have grown, and he grew early. Is that kind of what you're alluding to? Is that?
That's what it would. The truth is, that's what I think it appears to her, and it's the opposite. My development, I got to 30 years old at about 8.
Yeah.
And then I just stayed there until I was about 30 years old.
Yeah.
And then it started to pick up again. 35, really. I'm 40 now.
I remember when I was 11, my dad was like, I don't know, 30, early 30 or late, something like that.
Yeah.
And this woman that knew both of us said, both you guys act like you're 23.
It's pretty funny.
And I'll say,
I mean, having never met your old man, it's pretty funny.
I basically maintained 23
Yeah.
until I was about, I don't know, 27.
It's funny.
Where my dad maintained 23 until he was about, I don't know, 50.
Yeah.
So, advanced growth early in life doesn't really mean a whole lot if you never grow past it.
Right. That's exactly true. And I feel that was the case for me. So whatever she thinks about me, that I'm ahead of her or something like that, it's not the case. I don't know if that's what you're even saying, but as far as that part of the development, wherever I got, I stayed there because nobody else told me what to do, and I didn't know on my own, and I wasn't schooled or anything, so I was kind of just like, whatever.
I would say that you guys have different ways of communicating, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's a difference in personal growth at all.
I agree. I thought you said that. I thought you guys were talking about that, like the...
No, I would say that what I'm saying is there's no noticeable difference in like where you are as human beings. It's just the way that you communicate. It's kind of different. So it causes some hiccups.
A little bit.
You're a dude. You've been in relationships with women. Do you notice?
Derek, are you offended by that in any way? Because I just want to make sure that what she said was...
Come on.
I'm making sure everyone's on the same page.
Don't push buttons.
Thank you.
I want to
It's
make
just
sure
button
everyone's
pushing.
on the same
Don't
page.
push buttons. You're pushing buttons.
We're making sure everyone's on the same
Okay.
page.
I think I remember what I was going to ask. Do you see the differences in the communication as like a male-female thing or just like a person thing?
Some.
Okay.
Some. I mean, that's an obvious difference.
It's obvious to me. It's not obvious all the time. And when you're striving to not allow those differences to filter how you speak and you're trying to be more generic.
You have to communicate knowing what the differences are.
Yeah.
If somebody's more sensitive to things, you have to take account of that when you talk to them. And sometimes, in your case, I didn't. And but now we've got that sorted out, hopefully.
Do you find that comes down to what somebody puts out there, though, also? And this isn't like she was asking for it, and this isn't even about you. This is everybody. Whereas if somebody puts it out there that they make all those kind of jokes and they're loud and boisterous and they do all that same shit too, and then you know what I mean? They act like they can hang, and then all of a sudden you do one thing and then they get offended. Is that your fault, or were you misled because you were led to believe that no, this is the environment that we're all living in right now? Because that's what I get trapped into a lot. And I'm saying trap, that was a bad word. That's what I fall into a lot, whether it's a fucking trap or whether it's just a hole in the ground. I fall in there all the time. So I'm curious. And not about Nicole. I'm just saying in general, people.
I think it's very case dependent. I'm not going to say. Yeah, I mean,
of
like,
course. But
yeah.
Has that ever happened? What do you think in a situation like that? Because it's my opinion that you're a giver and not a taker. When it really
depends on if I give a shit about the other person's opinion.
Well, that's a really good point too.
If I do consider or value the other person, then yes, I will. Oh shit. Okay, yeah. Miscommunication. I will take note of that and and go forward.
We were going to use that. We ended up going with Mrs. Ryan, but miscommunication was the second hashtag we were going to use.
But if somebody, if I'm not going to see them again, or I don't give a shit about their opinion, or then who cares?
Yeah,
it's like that's
of course,
on them, and not my problem.
Yeah, I guess of course. But what if it is somebody that you do care about, though?
That's what I mean. Yeah, you take it into account. You just take it into account. You go forward.
My point is, if it's like in this situation like, it doesn't matter.
Assessing,
like you said,
assessing
I'm getting
blame
hung
is
up on
a.
it. I'm just trying to understand it.
Assessing blame for who's offended or who's not. I don't.
No, I don't. That's the thing. I can't stand the blame game. I can't stand the people who want to win game. I want to get to the bottom of things so that everyone understands and we all so that it's sort of dissolved, so to speak. I don't want to sweep shit under the carpet. I can't stand sweeping shit under the carpet. I have a hard time with that.
Sometimes it's dust.
Is that okay to you? Like, is that
Yeah.
the argument? It's okay because it's like almost nothing.
Yeah. That's what I think.
I mean, you might be right. I don't know. I don't have the answer. That's why I'm asking.
That's.
What's your opinion, Mrs.?
I think that if you can talk things out, like I'm really actually great. Thanks for everything that we had. Like, it was a nice moment because it all got cleared up in different ways. I think when people try to analyze things factually to be like, this is what happened, this is what I want, this is what you want. I think when you dehydrate the emotion out of situations, it makes that process harder. But
I feel like it's the emotion that gets you into those situations, not you.
the emotion probably does, but that to me means like that's what needs to be looked at. Like, what's the emotion that someone's responding? Like, certainly with me, like my reactiveness comes from a physiological reaction to an emotion I don't even necessarily know I'm feeling. So I have to do all that work anyway. So it's just like when people that know that about me don't take that into consideration, it's like there's only so much I can do in the moment. So sometimes I get flustered. So when we talk sometimes, or when you like want to address something in the moment without emotion, so I don't necessarily know which logic piece to hold on to.
And you think that's all fine?
No, I don't think it's fine. I just...
No, I mean, you're saying like that's how I am. Like, are you saying that, that's a work in progress, or it's something you struggle with, or that's just how it is?
This is one of those moments where I'm going to be like, you know this about me. Like, this is something so that I struggle with constantly. So I'm working on it. Like, I don't want to struggle with it constantly. But in the moment, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, help me out. Like, I can't do it right now. So I just...
But that's not what comes across. If you ever were like that, I feel like everybody, especially me, would be a helping hand. I feel that it comes across in the form of aggression. And it's kind of like, whoa, fuck you. You want a hand? Get yourself out. You know what I mean?
Sadly, I do know what you mean. And that's been said to me. It's literally, I don't understand. I feel like I say things subtly all the time that people are like, yeah, because we live in LA.
But you're not
like,
clear.
I said subtly.
I know. That's my point, though. Why do you have to say things subtly? Why don't you say what you want to say?
Because speaking candidly about what is really happening sometimes is incredibly off-putting. So it's my putting a little bit of discretion on the situation. Like I was talking, I don't even want to. It's just I have to be cautious how I speak, because when people are like when Barry stepped on my foot, like for a lot of people they would have 100 questions like, how did you not feel? Like, stomped on my foot. He gave me a hug one time and felt so bad. But I was like, I didn't even feel it. So like I have to take into consideration like the shock and horror on his face and like the feelings that it brings up. It's easier to be like, all good. We don't have to analyze this right now.
That's, yeah. It's not big enough. And sometimes just things aren't big enough to go deep. You just go, all right.
Then I find it an issue when they come up later. And then people have been hanging on to shit.
It probably won't come up later.
No, it did. I'm not saying like that, but I'm saying in this situation it did.
Oh, that? Well, that apparently wasn't a minor thing. So.
Agreed. So it's the type of thing you would normally talk about in the moment instead of hanging on. That's my whole point here. I'm like, I want to make you feel comfortable with yourself so that you can tell somebody, hey, yo, that's not, whatever you think about me, that's not actually me. Let's get to the bottom of it.
In the situation in the company, though, I think that would make it even more awkward.
Thank you. That was a moment where I couldn't say anything. And
Well, this is the first time I'm hearing of it too, man.
but you,
Well, I just meant like versus like in the car on the way home or something where it's just the two. I mean, this is the first time. It's a week ago. It's the first time I'm hearing about it.
because
So
it's
I didn't
not
know it was a problem.
because it's not a problem unless it's ongoing. And the joke, to answer your other question before, like it's not always when people think they're making jokes. And I'm going to be a dick and be like, I used to work in comedy. People aren't always funny. People aren't funny. So what's a joke to someone is not always a joke. It's just someone making like something, not you even, but like in general, like not everyone's funny when they think they are.
Or
So
some people are funny and not everyone in the room gets the joke too.
right. So that I guess that's that I feel like it incites some issues once in a while that are not necessarily the big ones to bring up all the time, but they cause lingering semblances of feelings for certain scenarios. Is that crazy? Did I sound crazy?
No.
None of it sounds crazy. You're a problem lister and I'm like a solution generator. So it's no wonder that we communicate differently.
I think that is a very astute assessment.
I don't like that about myself.
Well, but
So
sometimes
that's the thing.
all the problems don't need to be listed, and sometimes all the problems don't need a solution.
Don't need to be fixed. Yeah.
Which is where I think you guys butt heads sometimes.
You think we do? You think we butt heads?
On air.
From time to time? I don't buy it.
This is one of those podcasts I go, I'm not listening to this one.
Drama. Even though you're on this one?
Yeah, you're like, not listening to that one. Watch myself on camera for 10 minutes sitting uncomfortably.
Sorry, buddy.
No,
Hope you're all right.
I feel like so much has been resolved.
Good. What do you want to talk about now?
I do, anyway. Do you?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, that makes me happy.
Thank you.
Did you buy that? Did that feel sincere?
It's good enough.
It didn't feel to me either. What's up?
Yeah, I do. I do. Like, what do you want me to? What am I supposed to say?
We're all saying, "Oh, we feel better. We felt like we got some resolution." You never get the resolve at the end, so the problem is always perpetuating. That's my problem. That's an issue. That's something we struggle with in our marriage, in our relationship, in our lives, is that she's actually not very good at letting things go. And it's funny that you put that on me because I guess we both have that trait. But you don't get resolve often out of. Excuse me.
See,
I'm getting nervous.
I do, though. I do very quickly.
So do I.
I'm like, done, over.
We're good?
move on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Same
Move on.
here. Is that a male thing? Maybe.
I don't know.
I think so.
Okay.
Is it?
So what, you're saying you need more time as a woman?
Or perhaps like just the emotional element that isn't completely gone?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
all. We just need to
Okay.
let emotions just drift out, like sweat. Like if I go for a run, I would. Like it's that.
Sleep on it.
Yeah, was that
Okay.
in that?
Yeah.
That guy.
The phrase "sleep on a problem." Sleep on it.
The French sleep with it.
The French sleep
They're
with it.
more
Yes,
romantic.
they do.
That's what they said on the podcast. We didn't make that up.
They're more amorous.
Wow. What do you guys want to talk about? I'm exhausted.
Oh, jeez. I'm thinking.
I'll just
I should
apologize
probably be
again.
working. Huh?
I'll just apologize again. Sorry.
I don't think you need to apologize.
I'm good.
You mean you want to wrap it up?
No, I just made. She's like, I'm apologizing. I'm like, I'm good. No worries.
Well, there's been probably the most sighs of any show we've ever done, and certainly the wind's out of my sail. I don't know where to go with it.
That's a bummer. I just think about it, and now I'm just thinking about like, God, how often do I say shit that I
know.
just throw away that people go like, God, what an asshole.
It probably doesn't happen as often as this might lead you to believe.
Eh.
But it's possible, as this
possible.
shows.
I bet it does.
You bet. See, that was her going, yeah, you are an asshole.
No, that's just a difference of guys and girls, and like I'm okay
that
with
was-
like
that was a
that's how.
joke.
Oh, I give up. I give up.
See, if anybody, here's where I think part of the issue is. If
Everything is a
anybody
joke
knew-
to me.
If anybody knew Mrs. Ryan, see, anybody who actually worked with her or like any old colleagues who might be having to watch this, they're probably laughing their asses off because that's not who she was. She was like, sorry, you were like king asshole. So like for her to call other people an asshole, all of a sudden it's kind of like, but I don't understand. Like your pot is permanently black. I just don't understand.
Yes, I used to be kind of a jerk, professionally speaking. It was easy because everything was factual. There was no emotion to it. So
My
it was
point is,
the-
why don't you have more slack? Why don't you cut more slack to other people? When you used to have the same thing happen to you all the time, you're like, I didn't mean that. That's not what I meant.
I feel like I'm cutting slack. I'm not holding a grudge. Like we're fine.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
there's-
no, I realize I opened it up again, and I'm sorry. I just a little confused by the whole thing. It's what happens with me when I don't understand something because I'm like all of that is resolved or whatever, but it's going to happen again,
Wow,
and
see,
that
you're
irritates
doing
the
the same
piss
thing
out of
now.
me.
You're doing the same thing now.
I am. You're exactly right. You're
the
exactly right.
emotional part of it is still there. The logical part of it, you've summarized.
Mine
but
was
the
never
emotional
there.
part,
I'm unsatisfied on the logical part, so now the emotions get involved.
you gotta fix everything.
Something. I don't feel like anything got resolved. That's my point.
See, I argue with that. I think
No, I
it
think
was
you're
very
right.
much resolved, but not enough. You got to
No,
get down to the.
you guys.
the-
I feel like
the-
nobody's listening to me now. You guys are good, but I don't understand why. Do you get it? Like I didn't see anything get worked out there. I see that you were like, "Oh, I didn't really mean that," and she was like, "Okay," but like
No,
I didn't actually
I don't think
see.
that was actually what happened.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay, then it's on me now. What actually happened?
I was like, we can go back and play it.
Well, we could do that for all of this. I mean, I'm assuming all of this is unairable. I don't fucking care at this point.
Oh boy, we didn't do this live, did we?
Nope. Good call on that one, Derek Whitacre.
Oh man, can't we just sit around a campfire and sing Kumbaya?
Sure. Where do you want to light the fire? How about right here?
it bums me out that like we're not going to air an episode because Nicole was emotional.
No,
and
no,
it's
we'll
like,
air it. We'll air it. We'll totally air it. We'll totally air it. I was just saying that.
Are
like,
you
I,
sure
you know,
about that?
I don't want to, but we totally will. That's
I'm
what we always
totally-
said we would.
I'm totally
We
fine if you don't.
We don't do
And we
that,
can
though.
keep
You
it
know what I
for
mean?
us.
Like, that's not our thing.
In my defense, it's not what I signed up for.
Agreed. If you don't
This-
want to, we won't.
I would maybe hold on to it for a later date, and the lost episodes or something.
All right, we're gonna cut it all.
I mean, make it an episode. Maybe I'll change my mind later. I'm not like this isn't what I signed up for.
Totally agree with you, man, and I want to apologize.
And I
The
apologize.
open
I'm
therapy
really sorry.
session. No, it's totally fine. You know what? I'm glad it happened. I am glad it happened. It's a little too personal for me. You know what I mean?
No.
I mean, well, you guys do this all the time. Very
Exactly.
Personal stuff out in
Exactly.
the open. I don't.
Exactly.
And it's not what I'm comfortable doing. So,
Dude, don't even worry about it.
okay.
I get it,
Do you want
and
me to
I'm
push
really
the button?
sorry.
I'm happy to stop it
so
right
sorry.
now.
Okay. Well, no, let's sign off. Make it official.
Oh.
And then
I'd like to thank all my guests today: Derek Whitacre, Mrs. Ryan, Mr. Hyde.
and all of our demons.
See you at Breakfast Club.
Okay, bye.
episode is like, and me root